Hold on.
Girl. Hey, friends.
Hey, y'all.
It's just Britt.
And it's T, aka the Shy Leo.
We're here on this Wednesday morning with another podcast.
This glorious morning.
We live, baby. So now. And Tierra, of course, is going to kick off the topic because she's the brains.
I do have brains, don't I?
I feel like maybe I shouldn't give you that compliment now.
All
But
right, cool. All right, so I'm going to
get
kick it
some
off
energy.
with something. No, let's not do that one.
Oh, wait. Before we say that, before we get started, I want to put in the description box, since this will be posted on YouTube as well, the link to T podcast and my podcast, so that you guys can go on there and follow and start listening on there as well, if possible. It's
Yes,
multiple,
please.
it's multiple networks, or I guess podcast networks. We're getting all used to the terminology here.
Yes.
That you can use to listen to our podcast, so that we can, in the future actually have a live one and have you guys join in. So make sure you guys go follow that and click the links in the description box. And now
All right.
my bad.
No, that's cool. Cool. That's perfect. We do want people to join us, follow us weekly for our podcast, because we got some really good stuff, y'all.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Okay. So today's episode is going to be the question is, would you or could you date a bisexual man, or would you prefer to be cheated on by a straight man? Which I know that question sounds extremely strange as far as would you rather be cheated on, because who wants to be cheated on? But that is the question. It is something that I saw that was trending on TikTok. It got a lot of feedback. So I just thought it was interesting. I kind of want to get Britt's take on this because we haven't discussed this and we don't know each other's views yet. So I'm interested to jump in and see what Britt thinks.
So I'm just trying to figure out here. So the question is, so the bisexual man, he's in the situation faithful?
Yes,
okay.
A faithful bisexual man.
And then the other person cheated on you. And it's just
a straight man that's
like
cheating.
Very much a homophobic question.
Very.
Because
but you'd be surprised with the comments that I saw, how many bisexual women were saying no, they would not date a bisexual man. It seems a little strange considering that they're part of the community.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of the community. It's the spectrum. I mean, it's all, it's wide and everyone has their preferences. But
right. But is your preference homophobic because you don't want to date a man of the same group as you?
No, I was saying more of the homophobic part. The fact that the question was, do you want to date someone that's bisexual or someone to get cheated on? Like, it's like I don't know what the question. I don't even know how they came up with those two questions. I can see they said, would you rather get cheated on by your man and you find out he's gay, or if you rather get cheated on your man and find out it was with a woman, like something like that.
Right. So the
like
actual question was and it was a video of various women. The question is, would you rather be cheated on your man or find out that your man was bisexual? That's what the question really was. And a lot of women said that I would rather be cheated on and find out that my man than to find out that my man was bisexual, which is kind of weird because I feel like the question, like,
that question makes sense.
That question does make sense, but at the same time, I still feel like the question is just kind of like, if this is a person that it would bother, then I feel like the question is like not fair because it's like a lose-lose.
Yeah, they're both tough
for some people.
On your preference. Yeah,
right. So it's like you're not giving me really, because bisexual men can cheat too. Like it has nothing to do with their sexuality to me,
Right.
in the sense is, if you're gonna be with a cheater, they're gonna cheat no matter what gender they're choosing to cheat with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So
I guess
when I
maybe
thought
this.
about it, that's how I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute, are you saying that? Are you trying to say that only straight men cheat, or like? And my choice was to date a bisexual man who was going to be faithful. Like I was like, how can I guarantee that that person wouldn't cheat either? You know what I mean? So
Right, unless they're saying the question, like how I think I was saying at the beginning, as well as like finding out something like that, like them not being honest from the start of their preference, and then you find out about that, compared to, or would you rather find out that they cheated? Like, so both of them seem like, I feel personally, should have been honest from the start. If I had to
right.
pick, since that's the question that we just took so long for me to answer, I
Hmm.
think I would rather find out that the person was bisexual, not because that's like my initial preference, but because I would rather you find out, like, I mean, and as long as they didn't cheat, since if that's like something they was holding in, it would be hurtful, but it wouldn't be like personal. It wouldn't be like a personal thing against me. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like
Hmm.
if my guy was to cheat on me, that would be hurtful. You intentionally went to hurt me. Someone
Hmm.
hiding something like a great secret, like being bisexual, and I'm already dealing with them. That'll be
Hmm.
hurtful because you wasn't honest with me. You didn't give me that choice. You took that away from me,
Hmm.
and you also didn't feel comfortable enough to share it with me. But in their
Right.
own right, of course. But at the same time, it's just a little deceptive.
It's deceptive because it's
Yeah,
withholding information that could be,
exactly.
I think people often think that, my sexual preference really isn't anybody's business. And in an aspect, yes, it is. Like, no, it's not anyone's business, but when you're choosing to be intimate with someone, those are, I do believe and feel like those are things that you need to talk
Right.
to
Those
your partner
details.
about. Like, that's not something that you should, really keep to yourself, especially if it's with someone that you see yourself with long term.
Exactly.
Definitely give them the option to make that choice. Now, myself, and like thinking about the question, like, um, I used to be that person that said, I would not date a bisexual man, because in my head, I was thinking, oh my gosh, what if this guy is attracted to this guy, and I'm a woman, how can I compete with this man? And then after really thinking about it, it doesn't change the fact of whether that person is going to be attracted to a man versus a woman, for after thinking about it. Because when I thought about it, I was like, well, dang, it hurts the same way if the person that you are with or in love with is looking at anyone else, whether it's a man or a woman.
Exactly.
And the competition is still the same. Competing with other women, competing with another man. If you have to compete your
That's
heart and your
bad right
love
there. Yeah.
with another person, period, that's bad. So if the
Exactly.
question was, is would I rather be cheated on by a straight man or date a bisexual man, then I would date a bisexual man. But also at the same time, I also think that um that people have to remember that um communication is very key. So being able to communicate your feelings to someone could really set the tone as to how that person can take this. Um, because a lot of the things that I was reading when I was reading some of those comments was like, a lot of women were trying to defend their stance on why they wouldn't date a bisexual man, and still stating that, oh, I love, bisexual people. Or there was people who were bisexual that said, I wouldn't date a bisexual man, which is interesting because you're bisexual. So, it gives off homophobic vibes without you intentionally trying to be homophobic, and stating that it's your preference. And it's okay if that's your preference, but then you have to be careful with your words. Just say, you know, you just have to be careful with your words, because it does come off a certain type of way. And everybody's entitled to want what they want, you know? But at the same time, I think both parties have to be able to respect those boundaries that people put up for themselves, um,
Exactly.
with crossing those lines. Um, So I don't think that I don't think anybody wants to be cheated on. It just sounds ridiculous. It's
Right.
a ridiculous
Like,
question to even pair with the two, to be honest with you, because now you're comparing infidelity and sexuality are not even like shouldn't even cross paths. It sounds ridiculous.
exactly. And that's why I'm like, whoever came up with the question, like, it's interesting. It does get people talking, of course, because you're choosing between discovering a secret or, well, they're both secrets, but they're just on two different levels. Um, but yeah, that was and I didn't personally catch this on TikTok because I haven't been on there in a little bit, but that that's interesting. We should do some more Would You Rather. I was actually watching a YouTuber yesterday, and they did like a whole video of Would You Rather, what they call it, Truth or Drink or whatever the
Hmm.
case is. I feel like we should definitely do that and have all these wild scenarios play out, and
Hmm.
um and do those.
Right.
We can do
Yeah,
the
that'd be fun.
podcast now.
Yeah. Another thing that I was thinking, just as I was asking, like revisiting the question, why is this always usually a question that's posed to women versus posed to men? Like, why do people feel like it's okay for men or acceptable for women to be bisexual and date both men and women, but when a man does it,
What do
it's
they
like
call it? What is the word?
a double standard.
Well, yeah, that. But there was another word, but I couldn't think of what it's called. So let's abort that. But yeah, I don't know why it's that way, but
Yeah,
unfortunately,
that
yeah. But
poses a really
there
good
are some
question, though.
men who really would not be okay with that either way, and like the same boat. They wouldn't be okay with the woman being bisexual, because they look at
Yeah,
it the same view as, um, or I guess cheating on them with a female. I guess I mean,
yeah,
because they look at it the
but
same as them cheating
it's
on them with a
still
male
very there's
person.
still a very very low number of that because
Yeah,
like
yeah, definitely low.
it's almost glamorized
Right.
in a sense with women being with women and then being with a man because it's like a fantasy for men, but it's not necessarily or normally a fantasy of women to you know be with a man who's with a man or something
Well,
like that.
I
I
actually
mean, I'm
was
not
in a
saying that it's
group.
not
No, no, I'm not saying it's
there.
not a thing, right? Like
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like I mean, I said that all wrong, but I wasn't saying that you're saying it wasn't a thing, or like it's not. Of course, it's not as big of a thing. But
Hmm.
this just reminded me of a conversation that was on one of my Facebook groups. It's like this female group or whatever, and someone made a post about that. They were like, hey, like they're feeling, I'm not gonna say like word for word what they were saying, but basically like they wanted to get an idea if other females watch gay porn.
Hmm.
And you will be surprised. There was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments of people like, well damn, thank goodness, because I felt weird, or I felt like I thought this was me, only me, or whatever the case. Like I don't know why, but my eyes always go there. Like, and that like my thought process always go there. There was so many females like contributing to it. Even people I knew that was commenting. I was like, oh wow, this is really a common thing. It's just hush hush. It's just not really like talked about because,
Like
like you said,
women
it's glamorized
watching
the other
gay
way.
porn with men or gay porn with women.
Like just women watching gay porn on their own, like
Okay.
fantasizing about having like dealing with, I guess, two gay men or a straight
Oh,
man and a
okay.
gay man. I don't know the actual
Okay.
like breakdown per each
That's
preference,
interesting.
but yeah, it was so many commenting on there. They're like, yeah, I don't know why I watched that, but I do watch that, and I'm like, dang, that's true. I can't lie, I did watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I was in there
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
oh
gonna
okay,
lie, like I've definitely seen it.
yeah,
Um,
um,
I mean, because it not gonna lie, it kind of piqued my interest. I
it
just
did
wanted to
too
see
for
what it
me.
was
I'm
all
like, how does
about.
that work?
I know, right? Like, I was like, that's cool,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's just crazy because it's not talked about. It's hush hush, just like you were saying. But it's so normal, and it's so it would be nothing if you was to say you seen girl and girl or anything like that. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, when you think about it, like when you're watching porn, anyways, when it's, obviously, even when it's same sex, and then you're watching it, it's still you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't take away. It's not like you're not going to see the vagina, or the breasts, or even if you're a man and you're watching regular heterosexual porn, you're still seeing this man's penis, balls, or whatever. So
right.
to me, I feel like,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
you're
That's
seeing
true.
everything anyways. So
That's why
it's
some
not
people
really
say
it's not really a big secret.
that's true. That's very true, man. That is a good point too, because for men to be acting all like especially the men that's like overly quote unquote straight
Right.
and try to put it out there. But it's like,
And
do you watch
it's
porn? Because you're definitely watching another man's butt
right.
and penis and
So
on a
it's
deeper level.
interesting because I actually remember hearing on a podcast before that a guy was actually saying he does not watch porn with men in it. He only watches girl on girl porn, which I was like, okay, go figure, you're a guy. But I just found it interesting that he said, when he was younger, obviously before, when he was a kid, like sneaking and watching stuff, and like when he was like a teenager, but he was like, as he got older and like after like college and stuff, he was like that didn't interest him as much as just like the girl on girl stuff. He was like, and if I do watch it, that's the only thing I watch, but otherwise I'm not watching porn because I don't want to see another man slinging his thing. I just like, that's so interesting because I was like, I
Hmm.
wonder how many men think like that, because I know a lot of men that watch porn, and a lot of times
Exactly. Or be
it's
doing, having sex parties or whatever the case, or just
yeah,
doing whatever with their friends. And
yeah,
it's
this
like,
is definitely very interesting.
yep.
Definitely very
Okay,
interesting.
T, for a good conversation
I
piece.
know.
And
Oh,
we can wrap
yes.
this topic up so we can get to
Yes.
the next topic. Make
Yes.
sure you guys check out all the podcasts before that are posted on my channel on YouTube. Obviously, this is probably where most people are gonna listen to it. So, um, until you guys click the link, of course, in the
Mm-hmm.
bio, or description box, because I'm all over the place. Anyway, we're out of here. We're on to the next topic.
All righty. Audi 2000.
Girl, bye.